Shorts are insufferable. Mm. Hey, what's up, Santiago? Shorts are just insufferable. I swear. I swear. We don't trust the Bears no more, man. We don't trust the Bears. We don't trust the Bears. I'm a permabull now. We don't trust that the Bears can hold this move. I've been using the Tradeify account to short the market, and that account is down so much money is ridiculous. I don't think a short has worked in that account. Because I figured, well, I want to give that account a purpose, so shit, I'm just gonna use that account to take short positions because I just know they don't work. But I just want them to work, but I just know they won't. I lost so much money in that account. Bears has it so hard in this market right now. Bears just have it so hard, dude. And as per usual, going long, this is where you make all your money. By going long and fading the momentum, the bearish momentum. So we do have a bearish 3-minute imbalance here. Wouldn't that be some shit right there if the market actually decides to reject at this level as it's trying to do now. It's rejecting at that level right there. You have a 3-minute imbalance right there. I want to target obviously in this 15-minute imbalance right here. I think this is where the market wants to go before we can see the move down. I mean, we have the bears just trying to sell this thing down, and it's just not successful. The bears aren't being successful here. Look how many times they've tried. They're just trying, and we already know that with all this trend line liquidity right here, we get the market to break out. We're probably going to use all these buy stops above this trend line to fuel the move higher. That's what I expect to happen here. Let's see if it does. So if I look on Bookmap, the trend indicator, we might get a break of this trend indicator right here. Oh, man. You may get a break of this trend indicator right here, but okay. We are seeing a slight rejection as the market tries to break above this trend line right here. So the market is trying to, okay. Could have sworn I switched it over. Okay, I apologize about that. Okay. Anyway, so if the market breaks this trend indicator right here, this is what I consider a break of structure. If they hold this trend line, then we could see a rejection back down. But the way, with all this bullish momentum right now, it's looking like we'll probably break right through that thing. So that's what I expect to happen here. Bears just suck. I mean, we can just look at the price action. I mean, the bears are trying to defend this this trend line, but it's just not going to happen, I don't think. You say you're bearish overall today? I mean, I think the market could potentially become bearish for sure. But my expectation is that we have to see the market move up a little bit higher. I mean, this 15-minute imbalance is probably a good target for bulls. They'll probably take profits at this area somewhere. Honestly, I will be surprised if this thing comes crashing down. I'll be surprised. I'll be surprised here, actually. So I guess we'll see what happens here. You hit a premium, so we're about to drop. Oh, are you looking at well, I'm pretty sure you're looking at both, because I've seen that you post a lot of ES charts lately. Are you focusing more on ES lately or the NQ? Watch both at all times. Okay. You know what's crazy about trading? I have about 4 screens, and that's still not enough. I need more screens. I need more screens. As crazy as that sounds, I have 4 screens, and that is just not enough. Yeah, 5. On your VR? Are you using like a virtual reality? You talk about like the Apple goggles or something like that? Oh, the Quest 3. Oh, that's pretty cool. You know, that virtual reality. I don't know if you've ever been to damn, what the hell is it called? VR gaming, where they put like on a headset and everything on, and you can shoot zombies or something like that. The one that's the closest to me, we played. What is it called? It was popular, that Korean game show. Damn, what's that shit called? It's not Hunger Games. It's called something games where the contestant gets killed by playing childhood games. Damn, what is it called? Squid Games. There you go. Man, they had a Squid Game. It's crazy how perception is literally relative, and VR proves it. Because even though you're standing on a solid platform, there's a you remember the glass walking game that they had to walk on? Like if they walked on the wrong glass, it would actually break and you would fall to your quote unquote virtual death. Man, it actually felt like I was falling. I was like, yo, what the fuck? Physically, I'm standing on a solid platform, but because my mind believes that I'm actually falling, I felt every effect of falling. And it was a crazy experience. Crazy. Yeah. Huh. So one side is going to break here. Is it going to be the Bulls or is it going to be the Bears? Oh, really? Okay. So what I don't want to happen is to get wigged out. So I'm just going to put my stop underneath that low. I mean, if it breaks, obviously if it breaks this low, it invalidates the trade. I just didn't want that to happen. Mm. Yeah, honestly, that'd probably be the better option, honestly. All right, so we do have about 20 more seconds before the opening range is confirmed here. If I can find well, no, I'm not going to find an opening range indicator. I don't need for that to. All right, so the opening range is locked in. All right, so that's the 30-minute candle. So this is the opening range right here. That's the opening range. Okay. So the low of that candle is 178.25. 178.25. Well, that can't be right. I'm not that off. 172.25. Man, TradingView. What's up, man? I'm fighting against TradingView about creating a rectangle right now. I've been having that issue for a while now. 685. All right. All right, so let's see what we get here. This is the opening range. I wonder if the market is actually going to break the high, or if this could be potentially a fake out here. SMT long, you're holding and you're waiting. Okay. So I'm glad I readjusted my stop in this situation. I had a feeling that the market wanted to kind of take out liquidity before making the move higher. I had a feeling they wanted to do that. Yeah. All right. So we got bullishness in all the tech stocks right now. So we'll see about that. I mean, if I bring your attention over here to the Qs, bring your attention to the Qs. You do see price coming up to that gamma level where they previously broke it down from it. So man, purple is just one of those colors, huh? Okay. All right. So yeah, so it looks like the bears are coming in on the Qs at that gamma level right there. That gamma level at 710. We're seeing the bears sell at that level, or bulls taking profits. We see the same thing here on the Nasdaq. So see if we get a breakdown here. You know what? Hey, what's up, Investor Z? Actually, no, I'm gonna keep it right here. I'm gonna keep it underneath that low. I don't want to play that game with the Nasdaq. Not today. If we do see a break, of that low, because I wonder if we do see a break of that low, I'm gonna want to short that. I want to short the break. But that's if we break past those lows. Okay. Nasdaq is in account collection mode right now. She's just collecting accounts right now. I'm pretty sure a lot of people got whipped back and forth, short and long. They got stopped out short, so they went long. The market goes up, it comes back and stops them out long, so they go short, thinking that it's going to be a break, and it's just whipping back and forth. So yeah, it definitely is. Mm, I'm definitely gonna have to look at that. I'm gonna have to look at that. 180. Okay. All right. Well. Huh? In the Bulls we trust. In the Bulls we trust. In the Bulls we trust. Okay, looks like we got an or breakout on SPY. So we'll see. You say you're short? Yeah, we're seeing a lot of. Okay, so Santiago. Well, I know you got your stop loss in just in case. I know you got your stop loss in, but we broke structure to the upside here. So we'll see if the Bulls are going to be able to sustain the move above this trend line break. We do have a block of liquidity right there. This area is the last line of defense for bears. If the market pushes past this, we should see a move higher here, but we'll see. But I do think that the market is just trying to get somewhere because it's obvious the bears are trying to short this thing, but obviously the bulls aren't done. The bulls are trying to get somewhere, and they will use the bears to fuel the move higher to get to where they go, to get to where they want to go. And then we'll see a reaction from that area. So the bulls are definitely trying to get to their market objective, which is highly likely that 15-minute imbalance. So, okay. All right. So we got to break out from the Qs. We got to break out from SPY. All right. So we're up about 500 points or $500 right now. We should see a continuation in this move. So we should see a continuation. I mean, we're using all this trend line. Oh, well, there you go. We're out. Okay. We're out. We're out. I mean, if we can see a trend shift. All right. So we're up about $690 in this account. We're up about $3,000. All right. So we're entering into the 15-minute imbalance. We're entering into the 15-minute imbalance. I mean, the question is, will we see a reaction in this area? I mean, that's what we see, the reaction that we expect when price trades through this area. You got in from the 15-minute order break? All right. So shit, we're still here. So what I'm gonna do is well, we're gonna draw a line here at the break of this high because it's really right there. So we're gonna draw a line. We're gonna go down to the 1 minute time frame and look at it. So the high of that candle is 6850. 6850. Go down to the 1 minute. Okay. So yeah, it looks like, so the breakout rule, I don't ever trade the first breakout. I don't ever trade the first breakout. I like to get back in. Excuse me. When the market pulls back to the EMAs. So I want to buy at 53 if we get the market to pull back there. Okay. All right. So if it pulls back into this area, that's how I want to play this breakout. Back to the EMAs. Hold on. Give me 1 second. My daughters are just. All right, that was a great entry right there. All right, that was a great entry. All right, so let's see if we can get another profit target here. Let's see. So we're targeting 346. You say you got out? You know what, Investor Z? That's so interesting. Actually, let me ask you this. Why did you bring up inverse fair value gaps? Why did you bring that up? And I'm asking purely out of curiosity. Because they work. So the reason why I ask why you asked that, or why you mentioned inverse fair gaps, because a video popped up into my feed on YouTube, and it was talking about an inverse fair value gap strategy. And I looked at the strategy. I looked at the strategy, and that whoever the creator is, when they're testing out a strategy, they're showing all the wins, the big wins. And I looked at them, and I was like, it has potential. The strategy is waiting for a sweep of liquidity. So like right here, you get a sweep of liquidity. It creates an inverse fair value gap, and then you get into it. And I think this is it right here, where we get a sweep of liquidity. It creates an inverse fair value gap, and then you can short right there. All right, baby. Shit, I don't need the answers. I just need this thing to hit my target, baby. That's it. Yeah, 2 trades back, baby. We had 3 great trades in this account. The one from last night, the one at the start of the session, and this pullback right here. Keep going, Nasdaq. Don't stop because I'm saying, yeah, baby. Damn. You don't want to see me happy? Shit. But like I said, we are trading into that 15-minute imbalance. So I mean, it's a bearish one, but I guess we have to respect it a little bit. But we do have a break out of the order block. I'm not the order block, the orb. So we'll see what we do here. Prize picks. Yo, congratulations on that, Investor Z. That's exactly how we're supposed to do it. That's exactly how we're supposed to do it. You know, it's crazy that I'm trading so well in these TPT accounts. And what I mean by trading well is I'm not over trading at all. I take my good setups in these TPT accounts, and then I'm done. So I guess let me rephrase that. I'm practicing, or I'm exhibiting, responsible trading behavior in these accounts. I wonder why. I wonder why. Oh, does it? I'm glad you said that, Investor Z. I'm glad you said that. You know what, Investor Z? What helped me strengthen that hold to target nerve is just starting off small and then growing. Starting off with 1 micro contract, because you're not going to make money with 1 micro contract. So you got to throw that shit up there and hope for the best. I shoot for something that the Nasdaq can easily hit, which is around 80 to 100 points. And I'm not shooting for the full 100. I'm shooting for 80% of that 100 point move. Because the Nasdaq, I mean, shit, we see this shit every day. The Nasdaq can move. So I'm shooting for 80 to 100 once price passes a certain point, my stop comes up and it trails price as it goes higher or lower. And with the micros, you just keep adding micros, and then you get to the point to where it's like, well, you're so used to holding it just becomes second nature. Now, I mean, obviously, when price comes back to your break even, it sucks. I mean, obviously that will always suck if price comes back to your break even. It will always suck, especially once you're putting on size. How I've kind of clarified it in my mind, if I'm adding size and I have a P&L target, then that just tells me that instead of going for the 100 points, I can probably go for 50 or 40. And if I'm used to holding for 80, 100 point play, these 40 point plays are nothing. They're nothing. Now, if you're just going for, okay, so every trade I'm looking for 80 points. Well, regardless of how big your size is, you got to follow your rules. You got to follow your trading strategy, regardless of what happens. So, I mean, this is not a surprise to me. It rejected at the 50% of that 15-minute imbalance. So we did see the market react at the 15-minute imbalance, the 50%. We'll see how big of a reaction we're going to get. If you got in at 26, you would have been 10 points in. Drawdown. And that's at least a 30 point play right there, at least. Or 60 point, 70 point. Let me do some math here. What is it? And that's what, 269 was at the bottom of that candle, 270. I mean, that was about a 55 point drop right there. I think so too, Santiago. I believe we pump as well, just based on the price action. We have the bears failing to take out that low right there. They tried so many times to sell this thing down 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. Their buy stops are above this high. We have the market breaking out of the opening range. Yeah, the bears are definitely going to be used to fuel this market higher. I mean, you had a 55 point drop right there. I mean, that's nothing to shake at. If you're counter trend trading and you took that trade, that was almost a 1,000 point or a $1,000 trade right there against the trend or against the momentum. So far. You said around 390 is your 50. So Santiago says that he has a 50 at around 390. I'm going to assume that you're talking about, yeah, this is the only range that I see. So I'm going to assume this is what you're talking about right there. Okay, so about like 380. Let me see. What time frame are you using, Santiago? Okay. I see an order block right here. I see an order block right there. And I also see another order block right there as well. balance. I wonder if this is where we'll start to see the bearishness. I wonder. Look at that double top rejection at the 50% of that 15-minute imbalance right there. All right, so let's see. You still bearish? You're just waiting to see what happens at the 50 if we pump? Okay. Did we get news just now? What the hell was just that? Did we just get news or something? Yeah, that was crazy. Okay. Damn. Yeah, I may get stopped out here. Damn. All right. Well. So, Investor Z, this is that inverse fair value gap indicator right here. All right, so all right, so let's see what happens at the bottom of this range. If this thing pops back up, I'm going to get in. Okay. All right, so I guess our initial thesis from this morning was correct. The market was trading into that 15-minute imbalance, and now we're seeing the bearishness. We already know what the rule is that's going to be for this break here. So we go down to the 1 minute. Okay. We don't want to ever go for the first break because that shit ain't gonna work. Or maybe it will. So if I was in a TPT funded account, that I would have lost $600 right there. All right, so let's see if we're gonna get the market here to So if we got in at this, that was 327. We would have got a profit target literally at the 50% of the opening range. Do have a break, but we all know that we don't take the first break. This is technically a range breakout, and breakouts, 80% of breakouts fail. So the math is not even in your favor here. What you want to do is just wait for that pullback and get that EMA support. But the EMAs are all the way up here though. Okay. You got about 6 more minutes until the initial balance forms. About 6 more minutes. So So and you're using I'm sorry, is it the range of that candle or is it the high and low of that candle? So that would be, so the high and low of that candle will be right there. So the 50% would be 208, 207. $208. Okay. Yeah, I really appreciate that, DT1. I appreciate that. I try to present the most value as possible. I really appreciate those words. Very encouraging. I appreciate that, guys. Appreciate that. Really. Hmm. Hmm. I appreciate that too, because that's definitely what I'm trying to achieve here. Hmm. 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 We'll see. The Bears kind of suck, but man, it's kind of hard to pass up this short. We got a break of the orb low. We have about we have about 30 seconds until the initial balance is officially formed. man. It's just this is gonna be a tough one. This is gonna be a tough one. But I'm gonna take the setup. I'll take the setup here. Because we don't want to take the initial break. We want to get that EMA support. We want it to touch that EMA. That's what we want. And we got the long term, the medium term, and the long term EMA coming down. Come on in, Q. Come on in, Q. Okay. Of course. Of course. Okay. Okay. All right, so if the Bears don't defend this orb high, that's going to be it for me. I'm going to just wait for the long opportunity. If the Bears just don't show up, I mean, they just don't ever show up. They don't show up. They show up to get in the way. They don't show up to perform. Okay, so I'm going to remove this. Okay, they don't show up to perform. They just show up to get in the way. We got a false break of this low. They've taken the EMA, so now we're seeing the market. We're seeing the bulls. We're seeing the Bears fail to hold the EMAs here. You know what? Alfred, I considered it. I considered going long. The only reason why is because it made a lower low and it made a lower high. Do we sell off at the... We are at the 50% of the orb. So I'm going to try two trades here. Low risk. I'm going to try to... If this thing shorts at the 50% of this orb, which I doubt. It doesn't look like it wants to. Okay. All right, we'll see. Yeah, technically you're right. Well, not technically, you are right. We have the sweep there. And we have the sweep there. All right, so far so good. So far so good on this short. It's just not going to be comfortable sitting in a short position, especially when the Bears just have a hard time following through. All right, so we shorted the 50% of the orb. All right, we are seeing the puts come in though. We are seeing the puts come in. But we are at the bottom of that orb again. Looks like the bulls are trying to buy. We do have a range here. We do have a range right there. Hopefully the market ignores that range, but we are seeing the puts come in. You're seeing the puts come in. I just don't ever feel comfortable shorting. Okay. All right. I should have went long there, apparently. You know, it always sucks when it just sucks, man. It really does. When it's the bear's turn, it just sucks. It just sucks that you just can't get anything going with the bears, and you just have to either bet against the bears, which is usually the better option, because you just don't know when it's actually going to be a real short. Is it going to be a real short this time? Should I trade against it this time? We have capital on the line. I guess I could just skip over bearish positions altogether, or bearish setups altogether, but at this point, taking short setups is, I'm not going to probably be able to do that. I have to try. Well, it's not like I'm biased right now. It's just that I'm trading with or at least I'm trying to trade with the structure here. It just seems like it doesn't matter. Bearish price action just doesn't matter anymore. And it is challenging to accept that. Okay. Talking about the setup. Well, this is the last. This is going to be, so if I get filled at this orb high, this will be the last attempt to short. I'm not going to short anymore after this. I've already, that was like 2 losses in a row. This will be 3 losses if the bears don't step up here. The bears do not step up here. This will be 3 losses in a row. What I will say is that even though we talked about this 15-minute imbalance, I probably should have taken profits at this area. I should have taken profits at this area and then flipped short. Obviously, in hindsight, what I have to do is begin to resonate with when the market is actually trying to be bearish and when it's not. I wanted to catch a continuation trade here, but maybe I was kind of being too hopeful in that situation. Maybe I was being too hopeful. A continuation trade will require the bears to step up. And with how much, I mean, that was about 172. That was about almost a 40-50 point drop underneath the opening range. So I figured that the bears wanted to, I guess they wanted more, but I guess not. Okay. Man, it's hard to take that long though. That's hard to take. 87. That is frustrating. You think the market's going to go bullish? That is not hard to believe. That is not hard to believe. I mean, this can be very frustrating because if we look at the higher time frame, we kind of tapped the bottom of that 4-hour imbalance. I mean, it missed it, but we kind of came into that general area. We see the 4-hour imbalance here. And we're seeing the rejection. We're seeing the lower lows and the lower highs, and we see the break of the trend. If we just zoom out here, you see the lower or the higher lows, the higher highs. We see the break, we see the pullback, we see the break, and we see the bears trying to sell this thing down. And then we see the market push higher. And then now we're seeing the market push back down. This is a daily chart. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, me too, DT1. Me too. I guess the responsible thing to do here is to sit on your hands until market direction becomes clear, right? That's a responsible thing to do here. That is the responsible thing to do. We are seeing the market short from the long-term EMA on the 1 minute. We are seeing the rejection right there. Okay. So this is what I'm going to do. is that 172? So 171, 172, 75. All right, so I may not have to do it. Actually, I probably will still do it. Okay. If the market comes back down and breaks that orb low, it's highly likely to get a break here. If they don't hold this orb high, it's highly likely that we'll see a stop. That's the current value. Are you talking about on the because that's the hold on, guys. Kids, I freaking swear. I always want to test the reality with their lives. I freaking swear. Okay. You know, honestly, I probably should have shorted there. I mean, that kind of does make sense to short at the 200 EMA versus trying to short a high. Yeah, I definitely agree, Rugkit. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm paying attention to that, Santiago. And honestly, yeah, I mean, it kind of made sense. I probably should have just probably I probably should have just shorted that fair value gap right there. I probably should have just shorted that. All right, I'm willing to take the break of this. All right, man. If this thing's gonna bounce and stop me out, shit. Shouldn't have done that. Shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have done that. should have waited before. I should have waited for the EMA touch. Should have waited for the EMA touch. Okay. If this thing bounces back up again, okay. I'm not gonna play this game. I'm not gonna play that game. Mm. Yeah, I guess you're right, Alfred. So what I'm trying, I want this breakdown right here. That's what I want, but it just seems like it wants to try to stop me out. So I just kind of want to get my stop out of the way and kind of. Okay. Okay. He says been rejecting. Yeah. I'm pretty sure by the end of this session, after it's killed everybody's account, we're going to probably see a big drop here. Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for here. That's why I keep trying to take this damn trade, because it's like, well, I'm trying to trade with the freaking momentum, but the bears, man, they just suck. Or not, I'm trying to trade with the damn structure here. Trying to, but it looks like it's the bulls, I guess. We're making lower highs and lower lows. You would think the bears are in control, but I guess they're not. Okay. All right, so I want to get back a lot of my gains. Okay. I got to stop shorting, man. Bears just suck. All right. I'm going to create a new rule now. I'm just going to create the new rule, man. Bears just suck. They just suck. And that is very frustrating how much they suck. I'm going to cancel. Well, shit, I'm pretty sure if I cancel this order, this is going to be the, I mean, if it does pop up to the orb high, this will probably be the real short up here. So because of what's going on right now, I'm going to implement a new rule, because if this was a funded account, I would be down. I would be down $1,000. If I had a 25K account, it would have been gone. That should have been gone. So if I'm going to turn lead into gold here, I'm not going to trade in the range anymore. I'm not going to trade inside of the range. I'm just going to wait. If I'm going to take a trade, it'll be at the edges. I'm no longer going to take trades at the 50% of the orb. Man, I'm no longer going to take the 50% of the orb trades. I know I keep saying I don't want to take shorts anymore, but damn it. Kind of hard not to do that. Yeah, it does look like this thing wants to flip bullish though. I mean, maybe. I'm not shorting it again. I'm not shorting. This is just stupid. This is stupid. I'm not sure. I want to short. I want to. It's just stupid. Just stupid. Wow. I lost so much money. I lost about $1,300 just I really don't know how the market is so good at that. I was going to, so my plan was to get out at break even. I don't know why the market is so good at that. Going far enough to stop you out, and I have a decent sized stop. And then it goes to your break even after it stops you out. Yeah, I was, man. I was hoping to catch the breakdown. I guess that was my one last trade, and then that one last trade and then I started chasing to get my P&L back, and it didn't work out. As it never does. It never works out for whatever reason. When you try to get your P&L back, it never works out. Rarely works out. You know what, Yogi? You are not alone with that. I have seen a lot of people experience that same thing this week. The market. You know, I think and you know what, Investor Z? The crazy thing is that as I'm reflecting on what's happened today, I'm remembering what I said literally at the beginning of this stream. Remembering it literally right now, or recalling it right now. So at the beginning of the stream or around that time, I said that I've been using the Tradeify account to short the market, and it's lost so much money. It's lost so much money. And that right there should have been a sign not to short this market. But the idea of catching the break of that low, break of the orb low, and getting a quote unquote easy trade. That is infuriating right there. This is infuriating right here. Watch, it breaks the low now. Is at this point, should I take it again? Should I try? Yeah. Yeah, sorry to see that, Santiago. Sorry to see that. But I'm gonna turn today into gold. When the market is trending, when the market is actually following through, we make a lot of money. But when it's chopping like this, the only thing that happens is that we lose money. So, as I've stated earlier, when the market is in a range, when it's trading inside the opening range, I'm only going to trade the edges. I'm going to focus on the edges. This thing's going to break out, man. I know it. This thing's going to break out. I mean, should I trust the Bears? Should I? Nah. This thing's going to break out. I'll try it one more time. I mean, you don't test these lows this many times, and then it pushes back up, or maybe it does. If this thing pushes back up into the range, I'll close it. God damn it, Bears. Can we just see some follow through, Bears? Is that too much to ask? Some follow through? How many times are y'all gonna fail at these lows? Come on, just follow through here. Special C says this has bounced here many times. Like, you know what, Red Kid? That's what I'm hoping for. It would just make sense for it to break down here. It would make sense for the market to break down here. It just sucks that the market had to stop me out. I had a decent entry. I guess if I put it above that high, which, you know, I don't ever want to have a big stop. There we go. Let's see if the Bears can follow through. The Bears are just losers. And I feel like a loser when I trade alongside them. I feel not confident in the position. I have to endure momentum pullbacks. The Bears are just losers. And I hate when they have control. Just hate it. All right. So, I mean, if we can get this break of this low right here, I mean, we should. I mean, that should confirm it. It should confirm it. With these Bears, 127, 25, 127. Okay. All right. So if the market closes back into this range, I'm just gonna close this position for a small loss. If we get a close back in this range, I'm just gonna close it. And this is okay. All right, there we go. Let's break this shit down. Let's get this market to break down here. Shit, I almost want to add to it if it breaks down past this low. I will add to it if it breaks past down that low. Oh my God. Bears, you just suck. You just suck. Bears, you suck. Oh my God. Bears, why do you okay, I'm not taking shorts. I'm not dealing with this anymore. I'm not dealing with this. I don't care. I'm not dealing with this anymore. Bears, you just suck. Oh, you just suck. I'm sorry. Bears are losers. I'm not a loser. I'm not associating with losers. Bears are just losers. Oh my God. All right. So I mean, if this thing closes, I'm closing it. Bears, you just suck. All right. I'm just Let me cancel this order. I'm gonna cancel the order. I'm not gonna deal with this. I'm not dealing with this. Yeah. Actually, let me just go long here, because bears, y'all suck. I mean, nobody's scared of y'all. Nobody's scared of y'all. Y'all don't want this. Y'all don't want this. And watch this thing go short now. Watch this thing crash out. Watch it crash out now. Oh boy. Nobody's scared of no bears. I need to associate bearish price action with loser price action. I'm trading against it, damn it. Loser price action. Y'all don't want this shit. Y'all don't want it for real. Now watch this thing rejects, y'all. Watch this thing reject. All right. Okay. So we're in long. I'm a permabull now. I'm a permabull. I'm not dealing with this. I'm not dealing with this anymore. Okay. I'm a bull now, damn it. You said look at the 920 candle again? Or I'm sorry, not the 920, the 829 candle. So that's the 829 candle for the Nasdaq right there. All right, guys. All right. All right. Hey, if I ever say something about taking a damn short ever again, just remind me. Cause I'm subconscious. I subconsciously take shorts. Tell me like, hey, Sherm, remember, you don't take shorts anymore. And I'm like, oh yeah. Bears suck. Bears, y'all guys suck. Y'all guys suck. Bears, why? All right. I mean, we're up 500, man. I lost so much money fucking trying to. I know, man. I'm a bear at heart, man. It breaks my, like, dude, it literally breaks my heart that I can't take a short anymore and feel confident. It breaks my heart. It breaks my heart, man. You went long, Santiago? Yeah. Yeah, we are fortunate if we can ever extract money from these markets. It's very fortunate. Yeah, I mean, dude, it literally was, man, the bears suck. Why am I trading alongside them? Let me just flip long here. Because it's not like they're going to follow through. Let me just flip long here. The 2026, well, shit, this model has been, this has been the model since what, 2024, 2023, 2024. Bears are just in the market just to get in the way. Bulls are the ones that are the real bears when they take profits. It's not bears coming in and selling at these areas of supply. It's the bulls that are selling at supply, which creates these drops. It is not the bears. There's no real bearish pressure here. Yeah, I see it bounce. Yeah, I'm seeing it right now. I'm looking at it right now, Santiago. This high right here. Yeah, it looks like you can see what I'm talking about. This is all the bears are good for, getting in the way. I mean, we do have this fair value gap right here, and we're seeing the market, or we're seeing the bears trying to step up here, but they just suck. They just suck here. All right, I'm not taking short. I need to have a sticky note on my desk. Are you thinking about taking are you thinking about taking a short? Think again. Think again. If you're thinking about taking a short, try to look for the next long opportunity instead. Think again. My God, dude. Yeah, dude, Yogi, it's crazy. It's crazy, man. Like I said, my Tradeify account is down like $1,500. I only got $1,000 left, and all I use that account for is the short, just to get my short fix. And for whatever reason, I didn't use that account for my shorts, and took it out on this account for whatever reason. Well, I mean, I thought taking a short here would have been a good trade. I honestly did believe that. And that's kind of, I was like, okay, we got the break, or not the break. We have price trading into the 15-minute imbalance here. We're getting the rejection at the 50% of it. We had this big move down that broke structure. I figured there would be some continuation, and it would have been foolish to take the long here. Think again. Think again. Think again. Reconsider the next long opportunity. My God. My God. Hey, I'm a bear at heart, man. I just want to take a short, man. I just want to get that dopamine hit from taking a short. Is that too much to ask for in this market? Of course it is. Of course. Shit. I mean, honestly, I haven't seen it unless it's being suppressed. It seemed like every week the market, or at least Iran, has been trolling Trump. I haven't seen a troll video in a long time. I think, the story now is about President Trump meeting with President Xi. So that's the narrative now. That's the storyline now. And I guess whenever Trump gets back home, then we'll go back to the Iranian story, and the market's going to get influenced by that. Right now, the market is focused on China. He said, yeah, 2 days later, after Trump leaves, Russia's visiting now. Wow. This is definitely a power play. China is, I would recommend reading the book, Economic Hitman. China has been laying down the foundations for this for years. The global takeover, and they're doing it the opposite way of the quote unquote the United States way. The United States likes to go into underdeveloped countries. They like to plant leaders that are favorable to the US, and they create colonies. Oh, and that's where you get that term colonizer, because the United States likes to go and colonize underdeveloped countries and usurp their resources. That's been the United States model for a very long time. China's model is very different. It has the same goal, but it's very different. China will go in, invest, and say, hey, we don't care about how you get things done. We don't care. We don't care how you treat your people. We don't care about your customs or your views. We can find an area of compromise so we can do business. China doesn't try to go in and change leadership. China, I mean, they are taking the resources, so we're not saying that they're not, but it's more of an equivalent exchange versus how the United States likes to do it. You think it's going to go one way, but it's the other way, and it's going to be my way. And a lot of countries enjoy working with China versus now with the United States. Read that book, Economic Hitman. It kind of give you it'll give you an idea of why China it's basically the superpower of this world now. And President Xi made a comment to Trump, subliminally saying that that instead of trying to fight the rise of China, maybe you should try to consider working alongside us, because our rise is inevitable. Because it's already here. China's already, I mean, they like to show us maps that the United States is still number one, but it's really China. I mean, you look around, and majority of the products that are in your home comes from China. It comes from China. So we're not going to play this game and say that China is not the superpower of this world. That's just a fact. We just have to begin to accept that. I mean, President Xi literally went to California, the most liberal, removed from reality place, where they sit here and say that, these are blah, 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 and blah, blah, this and blah, blah, that. And when President Xi visited California, reality set in. They cleaned up the streets. They removed all their homeless. And California, so that right there goes to show that they know exactly what they're doing, in terms of they don't believe what they're saying because their actions didn't reflect that. And when President Xi left, it just went right back to that bullshit that they got going on in California. So that just tells that's very telling. Very telling. Yeah, Yogi, that's definitely true. And anybody that doesn't take the time to read about propaganda and how propaganda was used in the past, and don't think that propaganda is not being used the same way currently, what's that term? Eyes wide shut. Eyes wide shut. I mean, it's so basic. It's so kindergarten how governments use propaganda to influence masses to do what people would consider to be cruel and inhumane, using terms that dehumanizes other humans to justify genocide or justify usurping their resources, calling them, demonizing them, saying that our God says that these resources should be used. Their resources are being wasted on them, and our God gave us permission to take it from them. It's a holy war. And I've been tasked by our God to take it from them. this land belongs to us and not them. They don't deserve that land. It belongs to us. We would use that land a lot better than how they're using that land. And it goes on and on and on and on. And that other term, nothing's new underneath the sun. They did do a movie on remember that movie? What's it called? Something Z? Something Z or something? I mean, when I think of California, that's the movie I think about. Something Z? World Z, yeah. Yeah, World Z, yeah. You don't think that's California? I mean, no disrespect to anybody that's in California, but it's kind of it's crazy. I mean, that's just absolute craziness. I mean, you can well, I guess if the goal was to help people, people would get helped, right? It's not like it's impossible. All right, yeah, this thing, yeah, this is gonna squeeze here. We're gonna squeeze. Yeah, yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. Uh, New York is exactly the same now. I'm glad I visited these cities before the change. Until if as long as things stay the way that they are, I will never revisit these cities ever again. As long as they stay the way that they are, I won't revisit them. And not like I'm saying, this is what I'm talking about with bears. This is what I'm talking about. They're just here to get in the way. They're just here to get in the way. They're just here to get in the way. All right, let's see this thing squeeze higher. I got one more minute. I think what I'm going to do here. I have one more minute here. That's a break. Let's see if it holds. Bears. Bears, 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 bears. Okay. Bears, 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 bears. 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 Okay. All right, guys. I'm out of time for this session. I'm gonna leave this position on. Hopefully it doesn't come back and stop me out. Hopefully. But I'm gonna leave this position on, and we'll talk about it later on tonight. But I do appreciate everybody that joined me this morning. We'll definitely come back later on tonight. We definitely won't be taking any shorts, and we'll definitely look for more opportunities to earn some more money. And with that said, peace out, everybody, and keep on jabbing.